There are moments in life when you wake up and instantly feel that the day ahead carries weight, that something in the atmosphere is shifting, that the decisions you make today, the words you speak today, and the prayers you raise today will determine the direction of everything that follows. Morning is not just the beginning of a new day. It is the opening of a spiritual gate. Before the world begins to demand your attention, before messages, responsibilities, and pressures pull at your mind, there is a sacred moment where heaven listens for your voice. What you say in that moment has the power to shape what you will see. If you don't command the morning, something else will command it for you. If you don't speak into the day will speak back to you in ways you may not like. But when you rise with intention, when you lift your voice with authority, when you align yourself with God's presence at the very start, you set the tone for victory. You create an atmosphere of favor. You program your path for breakthrough. This is the moment where destinies shift. Not when the sun rises, but when your spirit rises. Every new day is a doorway in the spirit, a gate that either opens you into breakthrough or locks you into the patterns of yesterday. And this is why submitting the new day to God's authority is not just a religious routine, but a spiritual protocol that determines the experience of your next 24 hours. When you wake up in the morning, you are not simply rising from sleep. You are stepping into a realm of possibilities, decisions, battles, opportunities, and unseen movements. And you must first acknowledge the one who governs all seasons, who commands the morning and shapes destinies before the sun rises. There are many who begin their day with strength, experience, and strategy, yet they end it in frustration because they did not invite God to take his place before they took theirs. Submitting the day is an act of surrender, a declaration that you refuse to walk alone, that you refuse to rely solely on your intelligence, contacts, or abilities, and that you recognize God as the one who orders your steps, aligns your path, and shields your journey from corruption and manipulation. When you submit the new day to God, you are telling him, take the steering wheel, while you take the posture of a yielded vessel. It is easy to jump into tasks, calls, plans, and deadlines the moment you rise. But when you do so without acknowledging God, you step into a world that is already spiritually active without securing your own covering. Morning is the time when the spiritual realm is most sensitive, when instructions are clearest, and when the womb of the day is still open and moldable. A believer who understands this does not start by checking messages, scrolling through updates, or thinking about yesterday's issues. They start by presenting the day like an offering, saying, Lord, this is the day you have made. Speak into it before I walk into it. This posture of submission invites divine presence to go ahead of you, divine wisdom to overshadow your decisions, and divine strength to reinforce your weaknesses. There are battles you will never have to fight because you submitted the day early enough. There are arrows that will never reach you because you positioned yourself under God's authority before they were released. There are opportunities that would have bypassed you, but they found you because you placed the day in God's hands. Many times, the difference between a chaotic day and a victorious one is not luck, not coincidence, but alignment. When you submit your morning to God, you align your spirit with his direction. You become sensitive to warnings, nudges, instructions, and divine signals that the careless heart will miss. You begin to sense when not to go somewhere, when not to pick a call, when not to trust someone, or when to move quickly into a door God has opened. Submitting the day also means acknowledging that you cannot see everything ahead of you. You do not know what meetings await you, what conversations will come up, what challenges might rise, or what traps the enemy may have prepared. But God sees it all. When you surrender the day to him, you are stepping under the covering of the one who knows the end from the beginning. You walk with the confidence of a person protected, guided, and empowered. You stop reacting to life randomly and begin responding with wisdom because God has already gone ahead of you to smoothen the path. This act of surrender also breaks the pride of self-dependence. It reminds your heart that breakthrough is not achieved by effort alone, but by grace. People wake up every day with great potential, but still return defeated because they refuse to acknowledge the God who controls seasons and outcomes. When you kneel or bow your head in the morning, you are placing the day back into the hands of its creator, saying, I refuse to walk into this day without your presence. That simple act of humility activates supernatural strength that carries you through tasks you once thought were overwhelming. Submitting the day to God is also a declaration of trust. It is saying, oh Lord, I do not know what this day holds, but I trust you with all of it. It takes maturity to release control, to stop overthinking outcomes, to stop worrying about what may or may not happen, and simply trust that the God who sustained you through the night is the same God who will shield you throughout the day. This trust allows your spirit to rest and gives you confidence to face the unexpected without fear. When you start your morning with submission, you are not just praying, you are legislating, establishing spiritual order, and positioning yourself for divine help. You enter the day with peace, clarity, and assurance that God is your guide, your defender, and your wisdom. Even when challenges arise, they do not destabilize you because you already placed the day under divine authority. People may wonder how you remain calm, how you keep progressing, or how you maintain strength. But they do not know you settled the day in the secret place before the world even woke up. This is the power of submitting the new day to God's authority. It is the foundation upon which every other prayer, declaration, and breakthrough rests. When the day is submitted, the atmosphere shifts, the heavens respond, and things begin to work in your favor, not by chance, but by alignment. Speaking breakthrough declarations over the day is one of the most powerful spiritual disciplines a person can practice. Because your words are not just sounds in the air, they are forces in the spirit that create shape, direct, and influence what you will encounter. Every morning is a blank canvas, and whatever you decree becomes the strokes that paint your reality. Many people underestimate the power of their voice. They rise in silence, think about their problems, fear the unknown, and step into the day unarmed. Yet scripture shows repeatedly that nothing moves in the realm of the spirit until something is spoken. Darkness only shifted when words were released. Dead situations only came alive when they were addressed. Atmospheres only changed when declarations were made. In this same way, your morning must begin with your voice aligning your destiny with God's will, tearing down whatever is not of Him, and calling forth what He has already ordained for you. Declaring breakthrough is not positive thinking, and it is not motivational self-talk. It is a spiritual law that acknowledges that your mouth is the gate of creation. When you wake up and speak breakthrough over your day, you are releasing instructions into the atmosphere, sending signals into the spiritual realm, and authorizing heaven to intervene on your behalf. You may not see it immediately, but the moment you declare, doors open for me today, something shifts when you say, I walk in favor. The environment begins to adjust when you decree, no weapon formed against me will prosper. Resistance loses its power. When you say, I attract opportunities aligned with my destiny, the right people begin to move towards you. The day listens to the voice of the one who commands it. And if you do not speak, the day will be shaped by circumstances instead of divine authority. There are many who wonder why their days feel repetitive, heavy, frustrating, or stagnant. They keep experiencing the same disappointments, the same patterns, the same delays, because every morning they allow the weight of yesterday to speak louder than the declarations of their spirit. Your breakthrough does not begin on the outside. It begins with your words. When you declare, you break cycles. When you speak, you cancel limitations. When you decree, you confront darkness. A closed mouth in the morning is a silent agreement with whatever the enemy has planned. But when you rise and declare boldly, you interrupt those agendas and enforce heaven's plan. Speaking breakthrough declarations also reprograms the atmosphere of your heart. Many people wake up with anxiety, doubts, heaviness, and confusion. The mind is naturally drawn to fear before faith, to worry before hope, and to problems before possibilities. But when you intentionally speak breakthrough over your day, your spirit rises above the noise of your emotions. You remind your soul who you are, what God has said, and what heaven has already prepared for you. You silence internal battles by establishing spiritual truth. A person who starts their day with declarations builds an inner environment of strength and confidence that no external situation can easily shake. Your declarations also influence your decisions. When you declare breakthrough, you begin to think, act, and move like someone who expects results. You carry yourself with a certain spiritual boldness that attracts different outcomes. You do not approach opportunities with hesitation. You approach them with faith. You do not see obstacles as walls, but as doors waiting for instructions. You begin to operate with intentionality because your words have already set the tone for the day. Breakthrough declarations create breakthrough behavior. They turn you from a passive observer of life into an active participant in shaping your destiny. Another dimension of morning declarations is prophetic alignment. There are things God wants to release, but He waits for your voice to authorize them. Heaven respects earthly authority, and your decrees are the legal permission needed for spiritual realities to manifest. When you speak breakthrough over your day, you come into agreement with what God has already spoken in the spirit. You pull it from the unseen realm into your lived experience. Destiny shifts happen not only by prayer, but also by consistent, intentional declarations made at the right time, especially in the morning when the day is still forming. Breakthrough declarations also confront invisible resistance. Sometimes the reason a day feels strange, difficult, or unusually challenging is because spiritual forces were already assigned to frustrate or delay you. But when you wake up and declare victory, success, favor, open doors, protection, and divine help, you dismantle those assignments before they ever reach you. Your words become weapons that scatter resistance, confuse the enemy, and create a hedge around your activities. People who consistently declare breakthrough over their mornings often experience unusual ease, supernatural alignment, and unexpected help because they have already legislated the day. When you declare breakthrough in the morning, you are also building your faith. Faith comes by hearing, and the first voice your spirit should hear each day is your own voice speaking life. As you speak, your faith rises. As your faith rises, your expectations change. When your expectations change, your outcomes shift. You begin to notice opportunities that were once invisible. You begin to walk into moments that others overlook. You begin to attract divine connections because your spirit is tuned to breakthrough frequency. A person who speaks breakthrough expects breakthrough, and what you expect eventually becomes what you experience. This is why you must never start a day silently. Your silence gives permission for randomness, confusion, and spiritual interference. But your declarations give permission for order, clarity, and divine orchestration. Every morning, your words determine whether you walk into alignment or disorder, favor or frustration, breakthrough or stagnation. When you rise and speak, you take control of your day instead of letting the day control you. Canceling every negative expectation and projected evil is one of the most critical assignments of the morning, because the world you are stepping into is not neutral. From the moment a new day begins, multiple forces, spiritual, emotional, environmental, begin to move, and some of these forces are not designed to favor you. There are patterns waiting for the chance to repeat themselves. Disappointments waiting for an opening, cycles waiting for the slightest weakness, and invisible projections sent to disrupt your peace or delay your progress. If you enter the day without canceling these negative currents, you unconsciously step into traps you could have neutralized. Many challenges people face are not accidents, they are patterns, echoes of old battles, remnants of unresolved spiritual resistance, or projections sent to weaken them before they even begin their day. This is why every morning, you must intentionally shut down the possibility of any evil taking shape. Negative expectations are powerful because they often become self-fulfilling. When a person wakes up expecting the worst, anticipating difficulty, fearing disappointment, or imagining failure, they unintentionally align themselves with it. Thoughts create pathways in the spirit, and these pathways influence the choices you make, the opportunities you notice, and the energy you emit. Your spirit begins to attract the very things you fear. For this reason, when you rise in the morning, you must consciously break the influence of negative expectations, whether they came from your past experiences, from voices around you, or from internal fears that try to anchor you to old mindsets. You cannot walk into a new day carrying the poison of yesterday's pain or failure. When you cancel these expectations, you refuse to let past disappointments define new possibilities. You refuse to let anxiety dictate your outcomes. You refuse to let fear determine your direction. Projected evil is even more dangerous because it does not originate from you. It originates from spiritual or human forces that do not want to see your progress. Some of these projections come from environments filled with jealousy, resentment, or unseen hostility. Others come from spiritual atmospheres where assignments were made to delay you, distract you, or weigh your spirit down. Sometimes you wake up feeling heavy for no reason, discouraged before you even begin, or strangely anxious without explanation. This is not always emotional. It can be the result of spiritual projections aimed at weakening your momentum. That is why morning prayer is not only about asking God for blessings. It is about blocking every form of negative energy, silence, resistance, or spiritual interference sent ahead of you. When you cancel projected evil in the morning, you are declaring that nothing sent against you will find expression. You are breaking invisible chains before they manifest. You are placing divine fire around your path so that anything not aligned with God's plan is burned before it reaches you. You are declaring that no delay, no accident, no confusion, no emotional weakness, no bad news, and no spiritual attack will take shape in your day. Your declaration becomes a spiritual shield, creating an environment where the enemy cannot easily manipulate circumstances or influence outcomes. Another dimension of canceling negativity is breaking cycles. Many people live in repeated patterns, the same losses, the same frustrations, the same missed opportunities, the same emotional battles, the same financial struggles. These cycles are often spiritual in nature. They repeat because they are not confronted. Morning is the best time to break these cycles because the spiritual atmosphere is sensitive and open to legislation. When you rise early and declare, "This cycle ends today," you are not just speaking, you are enforcing a spiritual verdict. You are announcing that what happened before will not happen again. You are declaring that the day will not be governed by past pain but by new grace. Canceling evil is also about creating boundaries. Every day you encounter people, environments, and situations that can influence your spirit. Some come with good intentions, others carry negativity, pressure, manipulation, or spiritual contamination. When you cancel these influences early, you create a spiritual barrier around your heart and mind so that these external energies cannot infiltrate your peace. You walk into the day with emotional clarity and spiritual stability because you have already set the tone for what is allowed and what is not allowed to affect you. There is also the dimension of unseen accidents and sudden attacks. Many people have testimonies about how something almost happened but didn't. What they do not realize is that their morning declarations may have intercepted a negative event. Your prayers can stop wrong meetings, wrong timings, wrong movements, and wrong interactions. You may never know what God saved you from because your morning prayer went ahead of you to cancel disasters you are unaware of. When you cancel every negative expectation and projected evil, you reclaim authority over your day. You refuse to be a victim of spiritual manipulation or emotional instability. You refuse to be dragged into patterns that drain your strength. You refuse to let your day be shaped by anything other than God's intention for you. You walk with boldness, confidence, peace, and clarity because you know you've already shut down the doors through which negativity attempts to enter. This is how you command the day, not by wishing for the best, but by confronting and canceling whatever does not align with your divine destiny. Activating divine help and angelic assistance in the morning is one of the most transformative practices a believer can engage in, because no matter how gifted, intelligent, or strategic you are, there are realms of life where human ability is insufficient. There are situations you cannot see, environments you cannot predict, and battles you cannot fight on your own. Morning is the time to summon the spiritual support that God has assigned to your destiny, allowing heavenly forces to go ahead of you and influence the outcomes of your day. When you begin your day by inviting divine help, you admit that life is spiritual first before it is physical. You acknowledge that favor, open doors, protection, opportunities, and victory are not random occurrences, but the manifestation of unseen forces working behind the scenes to align your path with God's will. Activating divine help means asking God to position the right people, circumstances, and directions around your day. Divine help is not limited to miracles. It includes wisdom, opportunities, connections, and interventions that come at the exact moment you need them. Many people have missed their breakthroughs not because they were unqualified, but because help did not show up at the right time. Sometimes all it takes is one phone call, one encounter, one conversation, or one open door to change everything. And these moments are often orchestrated by unseen divine arrangements. When you pray for divine help in the morning, you are declaring that you refuse to navigate the day by your own strength. You request heavenly alignment so that your steps are ordered, your timing is perfect, and your movements are guided. Angelic assistance is another dimension of supernatural support. Angels are not symbolic beings. They are spiritual entities assigned by God to minister, protect, guide, and facilitate destinies. Some of the breakthroughs people experience: unexpected favor, sudden interventions, help from strangers, narrow escapes from danger, are not coincidences. They are manifestations of angelic activities responding to morning prayers. When you activate angelic help, you are authorizing angels to go ahead of you, stand beside you, and surround you. You give them legal permission to operate in your day, ensuring that every step you take is under divine surveillance. In the realm of the spirit, angels enforce heavenly decrees. When you speak breakthrough, they carry your words as assignments. When you declare protection, they become shields. When you speak favor, they prepare hearts. When you decree open doors, they influence decisions and shift atmospheres. Many people live their entire day without activating angelic ministry, and because of that, they carry burdens that spiritual help could have lifted. They struggle with pressures that angels could have handled. They fight battles they were never meant to fight alone. Morning is the moment to say, Lord, let your angels encamp around me. Let your messengers go ahead of me. Let your hosts stand guard over everything that concerns me today. Divine help also manifests through people. Sometimes the person you meet unexpectedly is the answer to a prayer you prayed earlier that morning. Sometimes an email, a message, or an opportunity arises not because you chased it, but because heaven ordered it. These moments do not happen by luck. They are the result of divine coordination. When you activate divine help, God touches the hearts of people who have the wisdom you need, the resources you lack, or the influence required to open doors you cannot open by yourself. Throughout scripture and history, great men and women rose because help came at the right time. This help is never accidental. It is orchestrated. It is assigned. It is spiritual. Angelic assistance also protects you from unseen dangers. There are moments when you feel led to take a different route, delay a trip by a few minutes, avoid a particular meeting, or skip a particular environment. Many times, these gentle nudges are angelic warnings. They move you away from danger and guide you towards safety. Morning prayer activates these protections so that throughout the day, you walk under a divine shield. You don't always see the accidents you avoided, the attacks that never reached you, or the traps that were dismantled before you arrived. But they were real and they were cancelled because divine help went before you. Another dimension of angelic activity is the acceleration of destiny. There are seasons when you feel stuck, delayed, or slowed down. No matter how much effort you apply, progress seems minimal. This is not always because of lack of skill or opportunity. Sometimes the atmosphere around your life requires supernatural reinforcement. When angels are activated, they bring speed. They push things into motion. They cause long-standing delays to break and align your day with divine timing. A person who activates angelic help in the morning does not move by human pace alone. They move with supernatural momentum. Activating divine help and angelic assistance also strengthens your spirit. It gives you confidence that you are not alone. You walk into the day knowing that heaven is backing you, that unseen beings are working on your behalf, that divine intelligence is guiding your decisions, and that spiritual forces are securing your steps. This confidence changes how you think, speak, and act. You no longer approach the day with fear or uncertainty. You move with assurance, boldness, and clarity because you know that God has released help ahead of you. When you activate divine help and angelic assistance each morning, you shift your day from the ordinary to the supernatural. You position yourself to experience doors that open by themselves, battles that dissolve without confrontation, opportunities that flow without striving, and protection that surrounds you without your awareness. You walk under grace that others cannot explain, favor that others envy, and breakthroughs that others call unusual. You carry an atmosphere that announces that heaven is involved in your journey. Praying for discernment, wisdom, and right decisions in the morning is one of the most vital foundations of commanding the day, because your life moves in the direction of your choices. Every breakthrough, every setback, every opportunity, every mistake is connected to a decision made somewhere. Many people pray for open doors but walk past them because they cannot recognize divine signals. Others pray for protection but step into danger because they lack discernment. Some pray for success but sabotage themselves through poor judgment. This is why wisdom is not optional and discernment is not a luxury. They are spiritual necessities that determine how the day will unfold. When you begin your morning by asking God for these qualities, you are acknowledging that human understanding is limited, that emotions are unreliable, and that circumstances can be deceptive. You are inviting divine intelligence to take the lead so that you do not spend your day guessing, reacting blindly, or leaning on your own perspective. Discernment is the ability to see beyond what is visible. It is the sensitivity that allows you to feel what others overlook. It guides you to detect people's intentions, recognize spiritual atmospheres, sense danger ahead of time, and notice opportunities others walk past. There are conversations that look harmless but are traps. There are offers that appear attractive but are designed to drain you. There are people who appear friendly but carry motives that can delay your progress. Natural reasoning cannot detect these things. Only discernment can. When you pray for discernment in the morning, you are protecting your peace, your progress, and your destiny. You are asking God to help you avoid wrong paths, wrong people, wrong partnerships, and wrong environments. It is better to miss a good opportunity than to fall into a wrong one. And discernment is the shield that keeps you from walking into the enemy's plans dressed as blessings. Wisdom is the ability to apply divine knowledge to daily life. It allows you to make sound judgments, respond calmly to pressure, prioritize correctly, and move with clarity. Without wisdom, a person may have resources but mismanage them, have opportunities but misuse them, or have connections but mishandle them. Wisdom is what turns potential into progress. It ensures that your actions align with your purpose. When you pray for wisdom in the morning, you are asking God to help you navigate conversations with grace, make choices with clarity, and manage your responsibilities effectively. You are asking Him to help you think before you act, listen before you speak, and understand before you decide. Wisdom is the difference between a peaceful day and a chaotic one, between growth and stagnation, between breakthrough and delay. Right decisions are the fruit of discernment and wisdom working together. Every day you are faced with decisions, some small and some significant. A wrong decision made in one moment can affect you for months or years. A right decision made at the right time can unlock opportunities that shift your entire life. When you pray for the ability to make right decisions, you are asking God to align your thoughts, emotions, and judgment with His will. You are asking Him to remove confusion, silence internal noise, and guide you toward choices that produce peace, progress, and breakthrough. People often underestimate the spiritual weight behind their decisions, but every decision carries consequences in both the physical and spiritual realms. Morning is the best time to ask for these gifts because your day is still unwritten. You have not yet walked into conversations, meetings, or environments that will require your judgment. When you seek discernment early, you program your spirit to remain alert. You become sensitive to little signs that others ignore. You begin to notice when something feels off, when someone's energy doesn't align with their words, or when a situation demands patience instead of speed. You become aware of spiritual movements that guide you toward the right path. Asking for wisdom in the morning also helps you carry yourself with confidence. Wisdom stabilizes your emotions. It keeps you from being reactive. It helps you maintain calmness in stressful situations. It prevents you from making decisions driven by fear, anger, or frustration. It allows you to think clearly under pressure, which is essential for breakthrough. Right decisions flow naturally when discernment and wisdom are active. You begin to choose what matters and ignore what doesn't. You stop chasing distractions. You stop forcing connections that are not aligned with your destiny. You recognize when to move forward, when to slow down, and when to step back. You become intentional rather than impulsive. You start making choices that align with your long-term purpose rather than your short-term emotions. Praying for these qualities also protects you from manipulation. There are people who carry confusion with them. There are environments that drain clarity. There are situations designed to push you into making rushed decisions. But when you ask God to cover you with discernment and wisdom, you rise above emotional pressure. You become anchored. Manipulation loses power over you. Temptation loses its grip. Confusion cannot cloud your mind. You walk through the day with a sharp spirit and a clear mind. Discernment, wisdom, and good judgment also help you maximize opportunities. Not every open door is meant for you, and not every shut down door is a rejection. Some are divine protection. There are opportunities that look small but lead to greatness. There are moments that seem insignificant but carry destiny-level impact. Only a discerning heart can recognize these. Only a wise spirit can handle them correctly. Only a person with divine guidance can walk through them without error. When you pray for discernment, wisdom, and right decisions in the morning, you take control of how the day will shape you. You refuse to be driven by emotions, fear, or pressure. You choose to walk according to divine guidance. And when you do this consistently, your days begin to align with breakthrough, favor, and spiritual stability. You become someone who does not just live the day, you command it. Declaring favor, open doors, and supernatural speed in the morning is a powerful way to set the atmosphere of your day, because favor is not something that appears randomly. Open doors are not accidents, and supernatural speed does not come by human effort alone. These are spiritual forces that respond to intentional declarations. Many people begin their day with fear, worry, or passive neutrality, not realizing that the day will follow the tone their spirit sets. When you rise and declare favor, you are authorizing heaven to position you in places you could not reach by yourself. When you declare open doors, you are commanding the day to release access to the opportunities assigned to you. When you declare supernatural speed, you are aligning yourself with a grace that overrides delay and accelerates destiny. Favor, access, and speed are spiritual advantages, and the morning is the most strategic time to activate them. Favor is divine endorsement. It is when God puts something on your life that makes people see you differently, treat you differently, and respond to you differently. Favor makes your name remembered in rooms you have never entered. It makes your presence create impact even before you speak. It opens hearts, shifts decisions, and aligns circumstances in your favor. Many people are gifted, skilled, and hardworking, but they struggle because they lack favor. Hard work alone is not enough to open the right doors. Intelligence alone cannot move you into divine opportunities. Connections alone cannot sustain long-term breakthroughs. Favor is what turns effort into results. When you declare favor in the morning, you are asking God to go ahead of you and soften the hearts of those you will meet. You are asking Him to influence decisions, conversations, and outcomes that concern you. You are asking heaven to position your name where your feet have not yet reached. Favor makes what is difficult for others become easy for you. It makes what takes years happen in months. It makes what is inaccessible suddenly become available. Morning declarations activate this spiritual grace and cause it to rest upon your day. Declaring open doors is equally important because access is everything. You can have talent but no platform. You can have wisdom but no audience. You can have potential but no exposure. You can have ideas but no opportunity to express them. Open doors are supernatural opportunities created by God that no man can shut. They are strategic alignments that bring you into the right rooms, connect you with the right people, and expose you to environments that elevate your destiny. When you declare open doors in the morning, you are dismantling every barrier, removing every obstacle, and silencing every resistance that stands between you and your next level. You are commanding situations to align, pathways to clear, and favor to lead you to new territories. Many setbacks happen because people walk into the day without commanding access. They wait for opportunities instead of declaring them. They accept closed seasons that were meant to be opened through their voice. Your declarations are the keys that unlock the doors assigned to you. Morning is the time to speak those keys into motion. Supernatural speed is a necessary grace because life can slow you down through unexpected delays, emotional battles, financial struggles, or unseen resistance. There are people who spend years trying to accomplish what could be completed in months if the grace for speed was active in their lives. Supernatural speed is when God compresses time for you. It is when you begin to achieve in a short period what others spend years trying to do. It is when restoration happens faster than the damage. It is when progress overtakes your past delays. When you declare supernatural speed in the morning, you are rejecting stagnation, refusing delay, and demanding acceleration. You are aligning yourself with divine momentum. You are telling the day that you will not move at an ordinary pace, but at the pace set by heaven. This speed is not rushed movement. It is divinely orchestrated advancement. It protects you from distractions, redirects you from time, wasting paths, and pushes you into timely alignment with destiny. Declaring favor, open doors, and supernatural speed also affects your mindset. When you speak these things over your day, you begin to carry yourself with expectation, confidence, and authority. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You start expecting positive outcomes instead of anticipating failure. You begin to move like someone who is backed by heaven. Your spirit becomes strengthened. Your thoughts become aligned, and your behavior begins to reflect the declarations you made. You approach the day with faith, not fear, with boldness, not hesitation, with clarity, not confusion. Your inner atmosphere shifts, and everything inside you begins to move in the direction of breakthrough. These declarations also challenge the forces of darkness assigned to delay you. When you speak favor, you dismantle rejection. When you speak open doors, you silence spiritual barriers. When you declare supernatural speed, you break cycles of stagnation. The enemy fears a believer who speaks boldly in the morning, because your declarations create spiritual borders that satanic interference cannot cross. Your words become arrows that scatter resistance. Your voice becomes authority that governs the day. Your declarations become a shield around your plans, your steps, and your assignments. Declaring favor, open doors, and supernatural speed every morning aligns you with heaven's agenda. It opens your spirit to divine encounters, unexpected help, timely breakthroughs, and accelerated progress. You no longer walk into the day hoping for good outcomes. You command them. You legislate your atmosphere. You take control of your destiny. You walk with the assurance that grace is ahead of you, access is waiting for you, and speed is pushing you. This is how you transform an ordinary day into a day of breakthrough. As we bring this entire journey together, remember that commanding your morning is not just a prayer routine. It is a spiritual strategy, a daily alignment that places your life under the government of heaven before you step into the demands of the earth. When you submit your day to God, you hand him the authority to shape your path. When you speak breakthrough declarations, you instruct the atmosphere. When you cancel negative expectations and projected evil, you secure your destiny from unseen interference. When you activate divine help and angelic assistance, you position yourself for supernatural support. When you ask for discernment, wisdom, and right decisions, you protect yourself from costly mistakes. And when you declare favor, open doors, and supernatural speed, you charge your day with the forces that lift, propel, and establish you. This is how a believer commands the day, not by fear, not by reacting to life, but by rising in authority, speaking with intention, and aligning with the power of the Spirit. Every morning becomes a spiritual doorway, and you now have the tools to walk through that doorway with confidence, clarity, and dominion. If you practice these truths consistently, your days will no longer be consumed by randomness or confusion. You will see breakthroughs where there used to be stagnation, peace where there used to be anxiety, and divine orchestration where there used to be struggle. I pray that every day ahead of you becomes a testimony. May the heavens respond to your voice. May your steps be ordered. May doors open before you. May angels go ahead of you. May wisdom guide you. May favor surround you. May speed propel you. You will not walk in circles. You will not repeat old cycles. You will not enter battles unprepared. Your morning will speak for you. Your declarations will fight for you. Your faith will build the world you walk into each day. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through this powerful journey. May the grace you've activated continue to follow you. Wishing you success, strength, and supernatural breakthroughs in every new day. God bless you and good luck on your path ahead.